4 or 5%, which is a bigger fall. This is a bigger event than the 2008 financial crisis, and it's most comparable to the 1930 to 45 period of time in terms of the size of the hole, the unemployment rates, and those types of impact. And then we'll adapt. One of the great things about the greatest force in humanity and the greatest force in productivity is the capacity of humans to adapt and change the way they're doing things. And we're doing that right now. And so I'm pretty confident that the inventiveness, the adaptation will bring us to a new way of operating. And let's say if you take that decline, that'll be a peak to the trough decline of somewhere in that magnitude, that will get past that, but it'll be a total new world order. The world won't resemble the world that we're used to. It's going to change in various ways. So it's a big hole. It's not a unsustainable hole because the capacity of producing money and credit is unlimited. It means that we have to look at what is the value of money and credit. Okay, that new world. What is the value of money and credit? What is a storehold of wealth? Okay, you just can't produce it without it having its effect on its value. And so while we talk about production, we'll adapt and we'll get past it. But how wealth will change will be very, very big and different.
I'm going to come back to that in just a moment. And I keep saying I'm going to come back to the things you're mentioning, but I promise I will, Ray. In your opinion, is what we've seen thus far in the way of fiscal stimulus from the federal government and monetary stimulus from the Federal Reserve appropriate? Are both of those organs of the U.S. government, if you will, doing what they should be doing? And if they're not doing quite enough yet, what else should they be doing?
Yes, in my reaction, there's no choice. It's like in the 2008 financial crisis. You're faced with a choice. Do you want those banks to exist in the future, or do you want to get rid of those banks? And they may have gone broke, and they may not have had enough savings, and they may have done even things that they should bear the consequences of. But you want to save the banks. And so this is a crisis that's similar, except it goes way beyond the banks. So when you start to think, who do you want to save? You have to think about, do you provide them with income, and how much do you deal with their balance sheet? And if you don't do that, the consequences are enormous. So the reaction needed to be of the sort. We have to think about the consequences, though, of producing all that money and credit. Where does it come from, and what does it mean? We'll turn to that in a minute. But it's just like the Great Depression. To do that, and you will need to do more, and we will argue over what we should do and who gets what, and that'll be our big discussion. But yes, there has to be more money and credit, and you have to operate in a way where you save important things, and that you only impose a certain amount of suffering on people that they can bear. Otherwise, you'll have a revolution, and you won't have productivity.
Well, to talk more about the markets and some of the things that Ray Dalio was saying, we're now joined by Joseph Ogourlian, who is a founder and managing partner at Amber Capital. Joseph, thank you for joining us on Surveillance. When you look at what the markets has done, so we had a couple of weeks of deep volatility, a lot of concern, and then last week things seemed to calm down and actually get a lot better. Is it too soon to call the worst over?
Good morning, Francine.